Let us move on to the big game.
The
big noon kickoff in Columbus, Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State now 3.5-point favorite. I believe they opened as a 5.5-point favorite. So the folks heavy on Penn State so far. Richard, I think this really comes down to how Penn State's defense can affect Kyle McCord, because if they don't give him time, they've got a chance. That Notre Dame game, I was there, and that last drive, we were standing in the opposite end zone. So I'm watching him kind of like the old Madden view where you're just watching what the quarterback sees. And when he was under pressure, it was touch and go. But when he had time, that dude was absolutely precise. Like, he was awesome. So big game for Ohio State's offensive line here.
I also think you have a situation here where I think Manny Diaz gets to be an absolute sicko in this game, because you've got corners and you got DBs that you think are good enough to hold up. Now, look, number 18 is as good as they got in college football. He could probably improve a lot of NFL wide receiver rooms like yesterday. But I think your strategy here is you go in that DB room and say, fellas, you may have a bad time on Saturday, but we need you. We need you to hold up in coverage just long enough, because we are going to bring the kitchen sink at Kyle McCord. And that's the game plan.
I think another question is how healthy is TreVeyon Henderson?
Yes.
He's missed the last couple games. They need him. Their rushing attack is different when he's playing. And
Maryland beat them over the head with a blunt object for almost 3 full quarters.
Yeah, and they said he could have played against Maryland, but then he didn't play against Purdue either. So, a healthy TreVeyon Henderson, I think, makes a big difference for them. For Penn State, this is the Drew Allar. It's not the Drew Allar legacy game. He's a first-year starter, but this is his chance to show that he raises Penn State's ceiling.
Yeah,
because that's what Penn State is, a good program that lives a notch below Ohio State and Michigan. The only way they change where they live is they got to win these games. So you got to go to Columbus and you got to take it. And the only way to do that is Drew Allar has a big game.
I think it's like 10 of 11 or something. Ohio State's won. We'll
get right back to the picks, but first let's talk about bird dogs. I love my bird dogs. Whether it's my Indianapolis Joneses, oh yeah, look at that. Built-in liner in the shorts that go with everything, that can take you everywhere. Tremendous. The Fidel Bass Pro Polo fits you in all the right places. And the weather's getting cooler, so can't always go with shorts. But sometimes I do have occasions where I need to wear pants. Got the Stephen Jobs. They're the best looking chinos I've ever owned. They are incredible. And then also started wearing the joggers, the Tiger Woods WOULDs. They are phenomenal. Again, they fit you in all the right places. Bird Dogs just knows how clothes should fit. Not too tight, not too loose. You look like you came out of the pages of a magazine, and you were living your most efficient life because of that built-in liner, which feels like it was made just for you. So go to birddogs.com/staples. Use the code Staples. You get a free Hydro Flask style bottle with your first order. Load up. Joggers, chinos, shorts, polos. They got it all. Birddogs.com. Promo code Staples.
What do you think about whether Penn State's been playing possum on offense or not?
I don't think they've been playing possum. I think they do not have as dynamic a receiving core as they thought they would have.
Yeah, as we thought. Yeah,
I think they thought Dante Cephas would have broken out by this point, and that hasn't happened. And I don't think they feel like they have guys who can separate in the way that like Jahan Dotson could.
I don't know what the result was on Saturday after they dominated UMass, but before the UMass game, I think it was 7 pass attempts that were 20 or more yards past the line of scrimmage in the air, which is not awesome. You're gonna have to do that against Ohio State at some point in time in this game. But
well, now to your playing possum point, though, their defense is so good that I'm sure Drew Allar has had it drilled into his head, like, don't put the ball in danger. Our defense is great. We can punt and play defense if it's not there.
Yeah. And it's, I will say, savvy scheduling for Penn State as well.
Yeah.
Get 2 bye weeks in a row to prep for this Ohio State game.
Yeah. And so this is huge because they get Michigan in-state college. This is probably the closest they've been to Ohio State in terms of straight dudes, in terms of this many NFL players on the field at the same time. Like Olufashinu versus JT Tuimoloau. Can't wait to see it.
Yep.
JT in the fourth quarter of that game last year, that may be the best quarter we've ever seen anybody play.
You want to talk about legacy games? That was a legacy game.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a legacy game.
That they have, but they're going to have to protect Allar better than they protected Clifford at the end of that game. And maybe they can. And maybe Allar allows himself to be protected better. Maybe his level of talent allows that to happen. But I'm so excited for this game because I do feel like this is as close as Penn State has been to those other superpowers in the Big Ten. And if they don't do it now, I'm not sure when they're going to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think you understand how, if you're a Penn State person, you can talk yourself into Allar's young and we'll be back next year. But what they've got on defense, I think, just really like it does feel like a if not now then when situation for Penn State to get, particularly Ohio State.
I'm taking Penn State. I'll take Penn State to cover. I'll take Penn State to win straight up. But for the purposes of this exercise, I'm taking them to cover. They better do it here.
Yeah, I'm also taking Penn State. I'm taking Penn State to win outright. And I'm very curious about how this one plays out. If Ohio State loses this game, I think you're going to look back on the season and say, "Oh, that was coming." Like that was coming. You survived against Notre Dame. You beat Maryland, but it took you a while to get rolling there. Similarly to, I think you look at USC last week and you say, "Oh, that was coming." They've had that in them all season. The sequencing of the games just was what it was. I think you may look back on Ohio State if they lose this game and say the same thing.
Well, we will find out. I cannot wait. Noon on Saturday. Richard, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.